So I am Karen Hansen-Kuhn. I'm Program Director at the Institute for Agriculture and Trade Policy, which is based in Minnesota in the United States with offices in Washington, D.C., where I work, and here in Berlin. My colleague Shafali is over there taking my picture. So she works here in Berlin. And as I said, you know, we have so much bad news in the U.S., but there are some pieces that are good news, and one of them is this whole new debate in the U.S. about the Green New Deal. Now, like so many things in the U.S., it started with a bold idea and kind of a stinker within. So when they introduced the Green New Deal, our hero, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and her allies in Congress introduced this bold vision for how our economy could be transformed, how we could achieve a just transition. But on agriculture, the initial statement was kind of silly. They said, we aim to be carbon neutral within 10 years, but we aren't sure we'll be able to get rid of the farting cows and airplanes that fast. So, as most people know, first of all, the methane comes out the other end of the cow. But in any case, it was such a superficial way to talk about agriculture that it made a lot of farm groups really mad. And in fact, it's what attracted most of the media attention for a few days, that they'd made this ridiculous statement. But what could have ended there has actually shifted. Different groups came into the debate in a really productive way. The Agroecology Research Action Collective is a collective of about 100 scientists that came out with a detailed policy platform on a scientific approach to achieve a just transition. In civil society, Friends of the Earth led an important letter signed by hundreds of organizations that also included a better approach to agriculture. And in both cases, they consulted closely with the National Family Farm Coalition, which is the US member of the global movement La Via Campesina. So they got to better approaches. A few months later, we had this group emerged, Farmers and Ranchers for a Green New Deal. And if you look at this picture, they are presenting their proposal in front of the US Capitol. And standing beside them are people from Sunrise, which is the youth movement that's really leading the effort for a Green New Deal. So they're working cross sectors in close collaboration. The woman speaking is another of our heroes in Congress. That's Representative Shelley Pingree, who is an organic farmer from Maine. And she has her own program, 5-point plan to transform agriculture in a way that includes farmers. So there are a lot of differences among these proposals, but they all contain some basic elements that are the same, that are unified. The top two, the ideas of supply management and fair wages or fair prices, those go back to our original New Deal, something that was launched during the Great Depression in the 1930s, but they go beyond that. Supply management is something we used to have in the US, but we could have again to reduce the massive overproduction in agriculture, and the idea of fair prices for farmers and fair wages for farm workers is also central to these plans. They're all based on the idea of a transition to agroecology or regenerative agriculture and food sovereignty, the idea that each community should decide what plan works best for them. And of course, they're all about reducing emissions. The debate on the Green New Deal is nowhere near over yet. It's still continuing. But in a country besieged by appalling news almost every day, I'm happy that we have a few rays of hope with this program. Thank you.